So here we are after the election has been finished, and
give it up for president, and then you can dub over it. I'm just gonna move my mouth. President
Joe Biden
is your president, like it or not.
Give it a round of applause if it's who we like.
I can't believe this happened.
What were the odds? We all know that I love Miley Cyrus. I love Miley Cyrus. I think she is just absolutely stunning, and Bangers is the album of the century. I don't care what you have to say.
It's a perfect album. She's a perfect woman.
I love this story so much. So some fans were like, you unfollowed Kylie Jenner, Kendall Jenner, Saweetie in The Weeknd after they went to a Halloween party. And she came on and was like, first of all, I never followed any of them to begin with. And also, which is so perfect to me, where it's like, instead of just being like, no, I didn't, she's like, I just want to make something clear. I never gave a shit anyway.
We were never friends.
We were never friends, so... I'm first. Okay. Me first. Okay. So my story was, I got it from like an English news source, even though it's a story about an American. So the title of it was Mum Makes 100 Breakfast Sandwiches at a Time. So there's this woman in Oregon who her idea of meal prepping is making McMuffin sandwiches in her house, 100 at a time, putting them in the freezer, and then day by day she just like reheats them and then serves it to her kids and her husband. Her kids and husband have the same meal every single day. Gross.
That's too many.
That's too many. Also, like, who are you trying... Like, if a woman was like, ooh, I'm wifey, I make 100 McMuffins at a time, I'd be like, get out of my house. Like, I am not interested.
Also, the amount of ingredients to make 100 at a time. Also, these people, you're trying to kill your husband, first of all. I'm sure she's putting sausage on that. It's a greasy little sandwich every morning in his life.
Yeah. She was like, I normally make them with jalapeno cheddar, but my husband wanted boring cheddar. And I'm like, okay, you hate this man. Like, all this man said was...
your husband wants his arteries to stay in his body unexploded. Will say... That's nice to have a fresh breakfast. I used to be a big toaster strudel boy. That was my move.
But
I used to be
fresh.
a big toaster strudel boy.
Right.
You're saying a sandwich.
I can't imagine. But that being said, I've never been a Jimmy Dean hoe. You know what I'm saying?
I would never eat that. I mean, that's some red state sandwiches. But I will say, the first 50 of the sandwiches are probably fine. But once you're getting to the last 10, 15 of the 100...
They're looking a little dicey.
This is my favorite headline I've ever read. R.I.P. to the sausage king of Russia who was murdered in the sauna with a crossbow. How fun is that? I love how my silly news almost always involves the death of a human being.
Yeah, and you're like, silly, huh? And I'm like...
And I'm like, isn't that a kooky story? It's just murder happening in fun places. So my man, Vladimir Murugov, he's a 54-year-old man. He was an oligarch and businessman who owned the sausage factories, Orozovsky Sausages, and a meat empire, which were some of the largest meat processing plants in Russia. He was found dead by police by crossbow in the outdoor sauna hut at his home, 25 miles outside of Moscow. Moscow, as you all know, made famous by Mission Impossible 5 when Agent Hunt inadvertently blew up the Kremlin. Two masked men reportedly broke into the sauna, tied up this man and his wife before demanding money. She escaped through a window, which we'll come back to that, and called the police. But by the time they arrived, he was already dead. Can I tell you this, Cal? Let me click back to you. Mm-hmm. I'm always very suspicious when there's an escape.
Yeah.
Call the police.
Yeah.
I'm always very suspicious of it. And I don't like to cry foul play, but
here's the thing though. Your husband makes a bunch of money selling the meats.
Yeah. The sausage king. He's not always a sausage king in the bedroom, let me tell you.
Yeah, you're not impressed with his sausage, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so you're like,
let me tell you that.
find
He's not exactly processing meats in the boudoir. If we're tied up, you know what I mean? If I'm tied up, and let me tell you something, we're co-hosts tied up. If I find a way to untie myself, I'm untying you too. Because then it's 2 against 1. Also,
Yeah.
you're very slow compared to me. They're going to get you first if we're running. So, it's kind of also in my benefit. But you're telling me it seems like she leaves this poor bastard, hops out the window, while these guys are getting away after crossbowing him?
Doesn't add up to me. And I don't know
Let me tell
math
you
in
something.
Russia, but this doesn't
This
add up.
sausage doesn't taste right. Let me tell you that.
No. Well, also, but the other thing is, like, reports from Russia, what's true, what's not. Who knows, I mean, we don't know what happened over there. Truth
We
be
don't even know
told.
if this is real.
I mean, we don't. Maybe they're like, let's distract them from the fact that we're going to nuclear bomb the whole thing and send them this meat story.
To feed them the meats.
Yeah, they're American. They'll be like, whoa, the meat guy got taken down.
Oh, the sausage king. That's a good name. And let me tell you something. Worked like a charm because I was like, sausage king.
No matter how good you are at making sausages, you never expect to get to a point where you're going to be murdered over it. Like, it's not a...
I don't think it's because imagine it was PETA. It was Russian PETA that took him out.
We'll take them down no
We'll
matter
take
what.
'em
And the
down.
woman, she can escape.
Yeah, she can escape. They let her go. You know what? She's probably an inside guy. She felt guilty for all
Definitely.
those years of
Yeah.
the murdering of the animals. Lock her up.
Alrighty, our next segment is I regret to inform you, and what we're about to say actually is pretty embarrassing. So this past week, obviously, was election night and all that good stuff, and I am a notorious binge eater. I love to do it. It's my favorite thing in the whole. And so we had some stuffed mushrooms and some wings, and then we had some nachos, and then we had some onion rings, and then after that, we had mozzarella sticks. I had 10 of them. And something about doing it with Friday's mozzarella sticks really hit the nail on the head that I said, you know what, I am...
TGI Friday?
Yeah, and I felt more American than ever.
I regret to inform you, I really didn't have a lot of the specific locations of United States clocked. I didn't have them clocked. And here's why it's actually embarrassing. Number one, I have a map on my arm. And number two, I claim to know a couple things about a couple other things. But let me tell you something. When they weighed in on Indiana and they showed it on the map, I turned to my sister, I go, what the fuck? I go, when did Indiana move east? Even the Northeast. It gets complicated up here.
You know what always screws me up is Maryland. Maryland.
I swear it moves every year.
My name's Emily. I took a shower. Now, all of us have something in common that we do after we take a shower, which is what? Check our phone? No, it's pick up a towel, right? So today I want to share this towel I have with you. It is 100% terry cloth. It's a huge thread count. It is so soft. I wish you could feel it, but you can't, all right? But you can hear it. That's insane. Now I'm gonna take you through a couple steps of my favorite thing that I like to do with towels. I like to either wrap it around me like this. I call this the mom, like that. I like to put it around my head. I call this the top hat. Notice how it just sticks. It's just here, like on my head. I don't have to do anything. I could wear it all day. This could be you. Now, a lot of people have like 4 towels, 5 towels, 2 towels. With this towel, you only need 1. It's called a hotel towel, but it is amazing. And I think you should definitely, you can wash it, you can dry it, and there's no wrinkles. That's the best part. Check this out, ready? No wrinkles. None at all. I'm obsessed with this product.
The real winner of the election? ? Drugs.
Yeah.
How fun is that? and there's a reason. Big day for weed and also all drugs. In New Jersey, Arizona, Montana, and South Dakota, residents voted to legalize recreational cannabis. And Mississippi and South Dakota voted to legalize the medical use of cannabis in the state. And for the first time in U.S. history, Oregon decriminalized hard drugs like cocaine, heroin, oxycodone, and methamphetamine. The state also voted to legalize psychedelic mushrooms. That means people are going to like cure, like it's long been said that like psychedelic mushrooms like basically cure depression.
You know, I have some family members who are adamantly against weed, and my big thing is this: is that it's
Is that just because of Reefer Madness or what? The old documentary.
No, I think they just look at it and say like, oh, you know, it's a way to not be in control. When people are stoners, they're annoying, which they are. That's the bottom line. If you're like a hardcore stoner, you are annoying at times.
Oh my god. Do you remember when I used to wear oversized beanies all the time? Ugh.
No, but like, think about it. Like people when they start telling you, they're like, oh, I do dabs, and whatever, and you're just like, oh god, shut up, like I don't care. And that's how I feel about
smoking
most
weed before you
drugs
do
in
everything
general.
isn't a personality, let me tell you that.
No. But I think in terms of weed, I think everyone just kind of needs to get on board. It's happening. It's whatever. Like, it's nowhere near, I think, as damaging as alcohol is. Alcohol has ruined... Yeah, like what? Like this idea that alcohol is somewhat better for you than weed is so bizarre to me, because it's like, if you look at the statistics...
All of a sudden, it's decriminalized. Like, it's like everyone's going to start doing meth. First of all, the people that want to do meth are going to do meth, because it's known that meth ain't exactly vitamins. You know what I mean? And the second thing is, it's decriminalized in the sense that, like, small possession of it is decriminalized. Sales, large possession, all that shit, that's still a crime. You know what I mean? It's just like, you can't go to jail for having a little blow on you. You know what I mean?
For stuff like Coke, like, everybody in LA does Coke. I'm sure everyone in New York does Coke. Like, to me, having a small amount, it's like, who gives a shit? I don't care. That being said, no, it's scary. All that stuff freaks me out, but your body, your choice, whatever. But in terms of like meth and heroin, I'm like, this is bad. This is bad.
That's what I like to call, I mean, they're all life ruiners, but those two, you're kind of guaranteed one and done situation.
Do you ever get into a conversation with somebody who's like way too excited to talk about when they were high or when they were whatever, and you're like,
oh my god.
It's fine that you had that experience. I'm glad you had that experience, and you can for sure talk about it with the other people you had the experience with. But I don't care that you thought the world looked like a coloring book.
You this, but he used to tell this story about how him and another friend of ours watched the movie Space Jam whilst high, freshman year of college. And that was the story. And he would bring it up once a month. And I...
In my serious news, the United States hit 100,000 daily cases of COVID-19. Pretty freaking bad.
But here's the thing where it's like not as bad as the first time around, which I guess it's worse, factually. Worse in terms of people getting it, but it's like much better in terms of people dying from it, correct?
Well, no, because the death rate has gone up 21% as well.
Right. So, but my thing actually is, I was told this virus was going to go away. And it seems like it's been here for a minute. It's been here for like one whole minute. I was like, worst case scenario, June 1st. Oh.
So here's where I think we're totally screwed, is that winter is on its way, and everyone knows that you get sick in the winter for a variety of reasons, and to have COVID-19 attached to that, I think we're in for quite the storm.
Well, you know what you're going to have, which is bad, is a lot of people, any kind of cold, you're going to check yourself into the hospital.
Yeah.
I had a cold a couple months ago, and I was like, I factually have COVID-19. And I had like a minor head cold, but I was like, this is it. I never even coughed once. I didn't have COVID.
Yeah.
But then you Google it, and COVID's like, the symptoms are like, it's literally every single symptom for any disease possible. And they're like, you just have the sniffles and no fever. It's probably still COVID though.
Yeah. Also,
which I guess they have to say to be safe.
Yeah. Yeah. But they're also like, even if you don't have anything, could be COVID.
Feeling better than ever? That's actually like COVID. Did they ever land anywhere with the antibody test? Like, does it mean anything? Are you immune if you have the antibodies or no? Or because I remember them being could mean nothing.
So here's the problem is that you can get COVID twice. So it's almost like, who cares? Like, even if I mean, and I'm sure two's not the limit based on the way things are going.
I'm watching a show or a film, and one of two things will randomly happen to myself. I'm like, I'll be watching a scene, and I'm like, why is he not wearing a mask? That's like in my, I'm like, no mask. And then, or I'll be watching a scene, and I'll be like, wow, must be nice. And they're just like in a coffee shop. They're just talking to each other in a coffee shop.
Yeah.
Like, wow, looks nice.
How sad is that? How sad is it that I just want to go to the grocery store and not feel like I'm in a rush because the plague is right behind me in line?
I want to be able to go to a bar and have somebody grab my ass.
Did that happen before?
No.
Here's who I want to blame. This is the group of people that I want to freaking blame. This is an issue that I have. Stop having these weddings. Stop it. Stop. Literally stop. Unless everybody is getting rapid tested as they walk in. Like, what are you thinking?
I'm fine with a wedding just family, and it's like under 40 people.
Sure.
But people are having 100-person mask optional weddings.
Yeah. Yeah. Look at Texas. All of those wedding venues are still kicking it.
Why are you getting married? First of all, don't get married.
Also, you know what? First of all, it's a piece of paper, okay? It can wait. It can wait. Why are we doing this? Why
Or
do you
if
need
you're
to do
that
it right
hard
now?
up, you can get the paper and have the party after.
Yeah.
Have some people over your house, maybe 10, 12 people that you like, invite them over. You're worried that nobody wants to see you unless you're getting married. That's your problem.
Also, it makes me nervous. Some of these people, because they've only been engaged, quick engagements scare the hell out of me. The thing is with me, is like these people who've only been dating like a year. I'm like, you don't know this motherfucker.
You
know what I'm saying?
We stand forever, President
Biden
and Vice President
Harris,
and stop having weddings and like and subscribe.
Yeah, I think that's really nice. I put a little cute little bow on it. That was good. That was
And
good.
justice,
Also, like, share
and
our
justice for
freaking
the
memes.
sausage king.
But more importantly, share our memes. And
Share our memes.
however, if you know the truth about this sausage man scenario, please give us a ring ding ding.
If you're in Russia and you have access to that wife, I have some questions I'd like to ask her.
Yeah. Also, if you're in Russia, I have some other questions too.